Hi, I'm John Byrne, editor of Poets and Quants, with Handicapping Your MBA Odds. With me is the always witty, entertaining, and highly informative Sandy Kreisberg, a leading MBA admissions consultant and the founder of HBSGuru.com. He is a guru. Well, we're here to handicap the odds of an MBA candidate who wants to get into one of the world's elite MBA programs. And as we do in our highly popular columns on Poets and Quants, we'll analyze whether a real-life applicant has what it takes to either get into a big school or whether, in fact, that person might be dinged. Too bad. Today's candidate is a 25-year-old American male with a 730 GMAT and a super high GPA, 3.88, from what he calls a second-tier Ivy League institution. Think Cornell, UPenn, Dartmouth, Brown. He was in the honors program. He majored in international relations, and so we should call him Mr. Global, I think. During college, he did internships with the Council on Foreign Relations, UN Peacekeeping, and a summer course in Beirut, Lebanon. He spent 3 months at Deutsche Bank in Berlin, writing a report on the Middle Eastern economy post-Arab Spring. And for the past year, he's been with a high-growth tech startup in Berlin, working in business development and strategy. He's hardly your typical American guy. After all, he speaks Arabic, German, and a bit of French. And he has very high ambitions to go to a very good business school. His target schools, Harvard, MIT, Columbia, and Stanford. Sandy, what do you think?
Mr. Global has Stanford Business School written all over him. He's got the stats. He's got the politically correct summer gigs. He's got the right intentions. And he's their kind of guy. Let me go through that.
Yeah.
But before that, let me burst one balloon. This thing of going to a second-class Ivy, I don't know if he said that or you said that.
He called it a second-tier Ivy.
Well, that goes to show what a humble guy he is. Okay.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no second tier. Well,
there's Ivy and there's not Ivy.
From business school admissions committees, Ivies are all great.
Right.
If you're a high school senior, you do get fixated on what they call HYP. Yes.
HYP being Harvard, Yale, Princeton.
You got that right.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, this is a great guy. The stats, 730 GMAT, boy, that's the perfect GMAT. It's like any higher, and you begin, like that means he's like a super smart, normal guy.
Right, because if it's higher, you start thinking nerd.
He's an idiot savant, right, yeah. 388 GPA, hardworking, focused.
Right, at an Ivy, no less.
Yeah, okay. Internships at the
And what about his
council?
major? Major is economics. It's a pretty easy major.
Economics is a terrific major.
I'm not taking anything away from 3.88, though, okay?
388 in economics is impressive.
Yes.
No, it's this. People who want to get into Stanford, pay attention here. Council on Foreign Relations, UN Peacekeeping, summer course in Beirut, 11-month stint at Endeavor, Egypt. That is music to Stanford's ears. They love exotic people like that. They like people who are out. They're in combat zones. They like people in the Middle East. They like people who are supporting the underdeveloped populations. They just like that kind of exotica. That's what makes this guy attractive. Then what he does is he balances it out. This is one cloud I'd like to know about. He says, 3 months at Deutsche Bank in Berlin writing a report on the Middle Eastern economy. I don't know if that was a contract gig or if he was started at Deutsche Bank and said, this isn't for me. That could be a possible glitch that might need to be explained. He then moved to 1 year at a high-growth tech startup in Berlin. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
And it sounds good enough. And that's enough business. So he's got the Deutsche Bank thing and the high-tech startup. it would help if that's a real company, okay, and it's not, you could say that, your roommate's business plan is a high-tech startup.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would help if that was a real company with venture capital backing or, sales or, any metric of, reality.
Plus
That
his
would
role,
help.
right?
Working in business development and strategy, that could be, trolling the internet, looking for investors.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody could say that.
Right.
I'd be more impressed if he said sales.
Yeah. And his extracurrics.
What are they?
Let me see.
I think he's just, I don't recall. He doesn't need any extracurrics. He's been running around too much.
Yeah, that's true. And he is.
Short-term goal, work for a consulting or a larger tech firm in the U.S. That sounds correct. Consulting is probably the better default.
And
long-term wants to start an international venture capital firm. Sure. Say that the companies you're interested in providing venture capital to are impactful startups in underserved areas in emerging and innovative industries.
Right. And to be consistent with his story, even on the consulting side, shouldn't he say that he wants to be in the Middle East practice or leverage his earlier experience to show a straight line?
That's not as necessary as you think it is.
Yeah.
He's done great work there. He's left there. He's working in Europe. He's, what'd you call him? Mr. Global. You got that right.
Yeah.
This guy is going to go where the global need is, where impact can be made. He doesn't have to limit himself to the Middle East.
Okay, let's go to the odds. Stanford, which has a 7% acceptance rate. What do you think this guy's chances are?
50%?
Wow.
With acceptable execution?
Right. That's really high for Stanford.
He's got everything they love.
Yeah. Okay, Harvard.
50% easy.
Come on, it's got to be more, because if you think he's ideal for Stanford, Harvard really wants them.
Oh, well, maybe.
And they're going to bend over backwards to get them, so Stanford doesn't get them.
I'll leave those dual admit internal squabbles to the
to Derek and
the D&D team. Yes, right.
The admission directors at both those schools. How about MIT?
They'd go for this guy.
Yeah, totally.
For sure.
And his other school was Columbia, I think. Yeah.
Columbia, unless he can make a New York case, they're very shrewd about sniffing out people who are using them as a safety. So if this guy wants to go to Columbia, I would really make, and the application allows you to do that, I would make a case why New York is important to him.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing about Columbia is, for years they've been positioning themselves as sort of the international U.S. school. To the extent that this guy is Mr. Global, that plays into their branding.
That too.
Yeah. So
that doesn't override their canine nose, their dog sniffing ability to sniff out people who are using them as safeties, just to be Mr. Nice and Mr. Cynical.
Well, Mr. Global looks like he has a future at a very big and important business school.
Yes, he does.
Thank you, Sandy, and good luck to our candidate. If you're interested in having your odds assessed by Sandy, go to poetsandquants.com, look for our handicapping series, and leave your profile in the comments. We'll get Sandy to take a look. Meantime, good luck to our candidate, and good luck to you.